Hello and welcome to another IELTS essay correction. And the topic today is many people believe that international sporting events are beneficial to a country while others disagree. Discuss both views and give your own opinion. So, this is the student's introduction, and we'll be first discussing what exactly was the structural mistake. It's up to here. The student's first sentence is only on the two opinions. If you read carefully, it goes, it is often considered that international sports tournaments are extremely important for a country's growth. So this is view one. This is view one. However, others think that they are a waste of time and funds. This is view two. Now, the next sentence is on reasons. Although holding such events demand this, financially poor state can't afford it, a country can acquire a moderate global status. So, this is the reason behind view 2, and this is the reason behind view 1. So, this is reason 1, and this is reason 2. So, what the student has done is she has written one sentence on view 1 and view 2 and second sentence on reason 1 and reason 2. It is better to write reason 1 with view 1 and reason 2 with view 2. This is the way I have structured it over here. It is better to mention the reasons supporting the view with that view. So go through this and you will understand that some people consider international sporting tournaments extremely important because. So I'm going with the view and the reason together in the same sentence. Others think that this is a futile exercise since, again, view 2, reason 2, view 1, reason 1. I hope this is amply clear. Now the student begins with body paragraph 1 here. This is BP1. And the student has begun with the view 2, why it is a futile exercise. According to economists, to arrange international tournaments is an uphill task for a low budget. There is nothing called a low budget country. It's a low or a middle income country. So try using better words, not exactly better words, the words which are right fit into the context. So the words are not complex, you will notice over here. This is a matter of vocabulary. This is exactly where most students think that they do not know complex words, so their vocabulary is weak. Vocabulary does not refer to complex words, it refers to the right fit that explains the context, that explains the meaning of your sentence. There are a number of factors involved which demand huge funding, such as. Now, this is sentence structuring issues. Such as is used to give example of the noun with which it is linked. So such as public arrangements. This public arrangements, security provision, media advertising and streaming, non-stop electricity and prize money, these give example of huge funding. Now these are not examples of huge funding, these are examples of number of factors. So this sentence needs to be restructured such that such as is placed next to the number of factors. So huge financial investment is required in factors such as. Now here they are placed next to each other. So what is public arrangement? It's a factor. Similarly, security provision, it's a factor. Okay, so placement of such as is extremely important. Now the student has done a really good job in mentioning the idea, though there was a bit of a lexical resource issue. The idea of one was appropriately mentioned, and the explanation is also fine. Though there are some structural issues, but explanation of one is also fine. He has not only explained various factors that require money, but all these expenses can combine to become an amount as huge as a developing country's annual budget. So this is an idea well mentioned and explained. And then the student moves to the Cricket World Cup 2015. And this is an example. So idea, explanation, and example. The pattern is fine. And let us find out whether example is appropriate. Here it begins. And the student has used, for instance, this is fine, the total expenditure of Cricket World Cup 2015, for instance, was about $10 billion, an amount equal to GDP of many underdeveloped African countries. Now, this is where the problem begins. Nowhere has the student mentioned where exactly was the Cricket World Cup. Was it in an African country? Okay, so it has to be in the same country so that you can support this view that international sporting events are not beneficial. This is a view not beneficial. So they are not beneficial, or they are wasting the resources as mentioned over here. They are wasting the resources only if this World Cup happens in an African country. So the student should have written where exactly was it, and it is much beyond the budget of that country. So I've tried to restructure the example over here in the context of India. For instance, the Commonwealth Games of 2012, which were held in New Delhi. Okay, so the place is the same. I've mentioned the place. Incurred an expense of more than $10 billion. This is just an hypothetical figure derived from here for construction of stadiums, transport infrastructure, residences for international teams. So these are the factors. I've mentioned some of the factors over here. 1, 2, 3. Since then, these buildings have been left vacant. Now, here is, till now, this is the expenses, this is the wastage. Since then, they have been left vacant. So, this reflects the wastage, which should have been the part of the answer. The example. This money could have been better utilized for uplifting millions of poor citizens of India. So, this is how it should have been spent. So, how the wastage could have been prevented. Prevent wastage of these resources. So it should have been written in this format so that it includes the explanation. The example includes exact explanation of what you mentioned in these two parts. Now let us discuss the other view, the second opinion, and which is mentioned over here. This is body paragraph 2, and the student has done some nice things, but others are lacking, and let us go through them. This is where the idea begins, with a good connecting device on the flip side. Such events help in promoting country's culture and making it a hub of tourism. This is the idea. Idea 2, and I'm expecting an explanation from here. This should be an explanation 2. Before that, here is a parallelism problem. Parallelism demands that here it is promoting and here it should be making. The structure should be similar. So make is not parallel to help. Making is parallel to promoting. So these were not the matching words. These were the matching words. So let us begin with the idea is fine. Idea 2 is okay with a parallelism problem, and let us find out if explanation 2 is fine. It is a point of common observation that there should be no apostrophe s. International visitors would not only get a chance to enjoy the event but also explore the country's culture and experience native behavior. So they are not only enjoying but also exploring the country's culture and experiencing native behavior. That is, it is promoting the culture. This seems to be a good explanation. So explanation seems to be fine in the first sentence, except this portion. And experience native behavior. This was fine. And local thinking about world. So this seems to be vague. What exactly do you mean by local thinking about the world? This seems to be a bit lacking since it requires more explanation. And if something is vague, you better explain it so that it becomes specific. So, for instance, exploring the country's culture, it's specific. It's not vague. Then, such international spectators can take home message of love, harmony, and mutual respect. This is again promoting the culture of a country. So this, and again, making it a hub of tourism if they carry a message of love, harmony, and mutual respect, which make the country get international respect. This is fine, but this seems to a bit vague structure. This is not as clear as it should be. What do you mean by international respect? You can write which create a tourist-friendly image. A tourist-friendly image clearly means that it is promoting tourism. And international respect itself is not clear. In which respect, in which sense are you talking about the international respect? So create a tourism-friendly image. This is more clear. So again, some sentence structuring issues, number one, number two. And not only these are sentence structuring issues, sentence structure, but these are also lexical resource issues. And why is it lexical resource? Since the examiner would assume that the student did not have the right words to express ideas and attract people all around the globe to visit the country. This is fine. There is some problem over here. For example, soon after the end of Olympic event, which Olympic event? You didn't mention. British tourism industry reported in 2012. Okay, it seems as if it is 2012, but again, it could have been 2011 as well. Soon does not make clear what exactly was the year. That a sudden rise in percentage of tourists visiting London had been observed. Now the use of had been is wrong. It's not the right tense, and you can discuss with me if you wish. The right structure should have been, for example, soon after the London Olympics of 2012. This clearly demarcates the year, and soon after this, so perhaps somewhere in 2012 or 2013, British Tourism Ministry reported a sudden rise in number of international tourists. So not just tourists, but international tourists visiting the United Kingdom. Because if it's just tourists, it can be within Britain as well. So here your focus is on promoting a country's culture and making it hub of tourism. So just a bit structuring issue, nothing special. So there's an explanation and there is an example as well, which could have been better written. So there are some issues with this body paragraph as well as it was in body paragraph 1. And I guess these are the issues I want to discuss. Subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel, and keep watching more videos to learn better writing. Thank you for watching.